Well, it's another Saturday morning. You know what that means. It's time for the Remax Magnolia show. And of course, I'm Curtis Pope here every week, and we have the rotating people from Remax Magnolia. And right now we have a newcomer. We have Arpan here. How are you doing?
Good, thanks, Curtis. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Nice to have you aboard. And when did you join the Remax Magnolia team?
Oh, I believe it's been a month now, and I'm pretty excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here and great to have you as part of the team. And it is a wonderful team over there, a great bunch of people.
Well, of course they are.
And it must be interesting working with such an eclectic group of people, because that's one thing. They are all very different people there.
Oh, yes. And I'm so glad that I'm a part of this community where, people are coming from different backgrounds, different experiences in the past. And James and I have been pretty similar. He used to be in industrial B2B sales, and that's what I used to do back in the day.
Okay.
And after I moved here, I've been in real estate for almost 5 years now.
Okay.
That's the story.
Perfect. So you're a welcome addition to the team, I'm sure. And I'm sure Michelle will have nice things to say about you when she's in here next week, because next week's probably the stats show, I'm thinking, which is her favorite show to do. But so far that you're at the office, I hope you're not having too many difficulties with James at all.
Oh, no. I'm enjoying it with him. He's my favorite guy, though.
James?
James? I got you back.
He's a great guy. We just like to pick on James as much as we can because,
of course.
I don't know, it just happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are, your first show, your first kick at the can, and what are we talking about in the first segment?
So today I would love to discuss more on BC assessment values versus market values, how they both differ from each other. And in the second segment, I would like to speak more, how we as real estate professionals work behind the scenes in order for our clients to maximize on the value.
That makes sense. Now, of course, that's one thing that people probably, when it comes to assessments, you get that assessment in the mail early January, and you're like, my house is worth $1.3 million. Well, that's your assessed value, and depending where you live, that can be very different, I guess. So that's probably some of the things we want to talk about. So, tell us a bit about the assessed value versus the actual value.
So first of all, what I would like to say is basically these BC assessment, it's a Crown corporation in British Columbia, and, they evaluate property values, and they do that across the province. And each year they do that, which produces property assessments for all the property owners, providing them with an official estimate of their property's value. Now, this assessment is based on a variety of factors, including the property's location, size, condition, and comparable sales in that area. Now, one of the key aspects of BC assessment is their consistency and uniformity. The assessed value assigned to your property remains fixed for a duration of 12 months, like from January till December. And, when the next year comes, you have a new assessed value. And based on these assessed values, property owners, they pay their taxes, their fair share of their taxes. Now, sometimes in real estate, people confuse this value with the market value. Market value is completely different. Market value can change from month to month, even week to week. Mm-hmm. And even this market value differs from, how banks are appraising and the real estate value, how different appraisers are doing it. So, crucial distinction between BC assessment and market value is the timing of their assessments. That's the most important thing, because BC assessment, that's based on July of the previous year, whereas market value, if you're performing that value at the end of the year in December, that's completely different. And this happens year after year after year. And for example, when you're in seller shoes, let's say if the market value is higher, sellers are happy, the market value is higher. And similarly, when you're trying to buy a property, if the market value is less, buyers are happy. Okay, they don't have to go to the BC assessment values. But then again, sometimes as professionals, it's hard for us to educate our clients, people out there, that there is an actual difference, because it takes time for us to build that relation with our clients, with people out there, because on the very first day, no one's going to believe you. Slowly and steadily, when you spend time with your clients, they believe you, they trust you more. And that's why I'm here. I want to inform people that there's an actual difference between BC assessment values and market value. You cannot rely on BC assessment values. They are there for you to pay taxes on. They're not there, they're not your benchmark. Of course, you can refer it, and sometimes it can be correct. But most of the times, the market value would be different. So it's very important to stay up to date, to stay informed. And that's where we come in as real estate professionals. I mean, anytime you need a market evaluation, we can do that. There are a lot of things that goes into the market value when you actually need it. So market value also fluctuates on response to changing market forces. For example, demand, supply, economic conditions, interest rates, and various other factors. Unlike BC assessment, which provides a static valuation, and market value is continually evolving and can vary from, as I said, week to week, month to month, and even day to day. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I know that you get that thing in the mail every year, and you look at the value, go, oh, my house went up 10 grand or it went up 50 grand. I mean, there was a few years ago where houses basically over a 3-year period pretty much doubled in their assessed value. And well, actually their market value pretty much doubled too. But the thing about it always is the accuracy of it and things like that. I mean, BC assessment used to be in the same building here.
Right.
And we'd always have, it was very busy. People coming in to, want to have their house reevaluated because they either A, want it to be worth more because of they want to sell it, or less because they wanted less taxes.
Exactly.
Right? So they had a pretty long line of people there a lot of the time wanting to go in and ask questions. I know from my old house, for example, it was listed as a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, but the fact was it was a fully finished basement with another 2 bathrooms,
yes,
or another 2 bedrooms and another bathroom. But I wasn't going to tell them that.
Exactly.
Until I had to.
I would do the same because I mean, no one wants their assessed values to be higher because essentially you'll have to pay more taxes on it. And sometimes BC assessment also, they do not take any of that into consideration, or sometimes they do take these values into consideration. For example, OCP, NCP, how these factors come into play. We as realtors, I mean, we will go out to the city's website. We keep us informed. Okay, what's the OCP in that specific area? For example, I was working with a client where the BC assessment was close to 2 million. That's it. But because of the OCP plan, their actual market value of that place was between 4.25 to 4.5 million. That's completely different because you can actually carve out 5 lots within that one single piece of land. And that's why market value is completely different than BC assessment values. Sometimes BC assessment values tend to be on a higher side, sometimes they tend to be on a lower side. But then the market value, as I said, it keeps changing every now and then. So it's very much important that you need to keep yourself informed, and definitely, just keep working with a real estate professional, or, just give them a shout whenever you need to have that real market value. Or obviously, professional appraisers can come into place as well if you want that. But realtors, we usually do that on a complimentary basis. That's something, you'll find any realtor do in the industry.
Now, as a realtor, when people do have they have it in their hand, their BC assessment, they're going, no, my house is worth 1.2 million. Like, do you have challenges in convincing people what their property is really worth sometimes versus what they have on paper?
Oh, of course, that's an amazing question. And I believe that's something, why I'm here, because, it has happened to me many times when you have to tell them, okay, this is not the case. And let's say if I'm helping a buyer in this case, as and when, we'll go out, we'll start putting offers on the property, and slowly and steadily, they'll start losing out on this one because multiple offer situation comes in, and, the other people, they win the offer, and then I inform them, see, this is the case, that's what I'm telling you. I mean, market value is different than BC assessment. And similarly, sometimes, when I go out on listing appointments, sellers have questions that, okay, why is my BC assessment this, and you're telling me the market value of my property is different. So usually we refer to, what has been selling in that same neighborhood in the last 60 days, 30 days. The more recent it is, the more referable, or the more nice it is, that you can refer to those sales. I mean, let's say, specifically if you're looking in, let's say, Fraser Heights, where I live, let's say if there are only 5 recent sales, they are pretty much like very good reference point. But if there's only one sale, you'll kind of want to broaden your area, like, get the neighboring areas into account, like take those areas into account as well. And sometimes you may have to go back 90 days. And, there will be times, when the market is really, really slow, you cannot find any references. In that case, sometimes we as real estate professionals, we sometimes hire professional appraisers. They do the job for us. But then again, I mean, BC assessment, like completely different from the market value. Market value differs every single time. And it's funny, you know, how you mentioned before. I mean, you know, if someone's doing renovations, they're not reported over there. And you have changed your carpet to proper engineered wood floor. So, I mean, you know, there's a cost into that. You have upgraded your bathrooms, you have upgraded your kitchen, you have upgraded your living room. These are the three places which kind of get most value for a specific property. And if you've done that, that doesn't show up on BC assessment. That will only show up in the market value when, you know, realtors have gone into that place, that they have made professional appraisals on that property. So all of this cost that a homeowner has put into their place, you know, we as professionals, we take into account, I mean, what kind of appraise, what kind of updates has been made to that specific property.
Absolutely. Well, we should probably take a break here. That's been great information about assessments versus actual, costs and what properties are worth and values. But we'll take a quick break here. If people want more information, of course, they can go to Remax. Remax Magnolia Realty.com. It's a long address, but I got it. We'll be back with more right after this.